Valley Giving Guide 2022 training session. Everybody in this meeting is officially participating in Valley Giving Guide 2022. Yay! Thank you all for getting all that work done. And now we're on the other side of, you know, the requirements. So now we get to have fun. Today's topic is how to utilize the Valley Giving Guide to grow philanthropy. We're going to talk about what in the world we mean by that and how we think about doing that. We'll share some ideas. Cole is here. He will talk about high-level growing philanthropy. Sarah Archer, it's her birthday today. Happy birthday, Sarah. I didn't write that on our agenda, so she didn't know I was going to say it. Sarah's here. She's going to discuss an insider perspective, being a former nonprofit participant and now on the inside, and she'll share that perspective, which is very unique and valuable for us. And then I'll dig into, you know, the weeds, timing, how to really execute some of the things that we talk about today, as well as if you have any ideas that we haven't addressed, I'm happy to dig into those details with you if we have time at the end. Okay, and you'll notice Liz is not with us today. She's driving back from Spokane with baby Owen. We will hopefully see her at our next training. She is a required participant at that one, but we let her off the hook today. Okay, that's our agenda. Shall we get started? Okay, first and foremost, I want to officially set some goals. So I'm really glad, Glenn, that you're on the call today. Glenn set the bar at our very first training when I sort of called out, like, what are we going to shoot for this year? And I've been thinking about it a lot, and I've been kind of intimidated to verbalize it again. And yet here we are. I am going to set our goal for Valley Giving Guide 2022 at a collective $3.5 million. Thanks to Glenn Mitchell. He's going to get us halfway there, and then we all just have to fill in the other half, okay? Okay. So that's our collective goal, but one of the strategies that I advise every organization to utilize this year is to set your organizational goal internally. Just pick a number. Pick a number, make it a little higher than, you know, what you think. And then get it. Like, this is our chance to have fun and to set some real aspirational goals and see how we do. Hopefully there's no consequence to not reaching a really aspirational goal. It just gives you something to work for next time. So that's my advice. That's my tip. And I am trying to adopt that same gentle attitude about the 3.5 million, because we might not hit it. We might surpass it. I don't know. But either way, it'll be really fun trying. All right. So with that, I'm going to hand it off to Mr. Cole Medina, our president and CEO. I think most of you know him, but if you don't, he's great, and he's really good at growing philanthropy. So he's going to share what he knows with us.
Thanks, Brier. You're not going to play my walk-on song?
Which one is that? Is that Ren DMC?
If you can't answer the question, I'm not going to help you out. Like, it's obvious. All right, who knows the answer Those 6 people who had their cameras on, who knows the answer? Nobody? Jim knows the answer.
Monkey Cole Medina.
There you go.
All right.
Well, duh.
Sorry.
I should add that to our, I'll add that to our playlist. I
You
can't
should.
believe that's like a glaring oversight.
But actually, I'm really glad you didn't do that. So I'll talk about growing philanthropy. Good morning, everybody. Thank you all for being here. This is one of those Zoom sessions where I'm mainly looking at a blank screen because everyone has their cameras off. So thank you to those who have their camera on. So I feel like I'm actually talking to some human beings. As Greer said, I'm Cole. I'm the CEO here at the Community Foundation. Hopefully folks are starting to get the message that our goal here, our primary goal, literally our vision statement here at the foundation, is growing philanthropy in the community. That's what we exist to do. Just make more money for more nonprofits in the community. That's what we're trying to do. We do that in lots of different ways. And one of the ways is this thing we call the Valley Giving Guide. So really for us, that's what it's about. It's a tool that we're created in partnership this year with the United Way, our partner on this, to try to grow philanthropy in our community. But it's a tool, and we put stuff into it to try to make the tool work, but it really only works if all the nonprofits involved also put effort into using the tool. If you don't use the tool, you're not going to get a lot out of it. That's part of the message we want to give you today. And I'm going to talk about what we do to help make the tool successful. And then Greer is going to talk more about things you can do to help make the tool successful for raising more money for your organization. So we did this last year, this kind of revamped charitable giving guide. Many of you will remember for some years it was the charitable giving guide, and then last year we totally changed it and changed the name. And last year, this event raised about almost $2.9 million for 130 different local nonprofits. Greer, what's the number this year? How many nonprofits are signed up? More or less. I know you're still working to get some people registered.
Oh, no, we're done.
Okay.
We're done. I can tell you that information in, oh, we have a nice round number, 160 nonprofits this year.
Okay, so 160 nonprofits are registered this year. Last year, when we were starting this event, some people said to me things like this, different versions of this. Well, the event's just gonna be moving money around. It's not gonna create any new money. People are just gonna give the money that they would give normally to their favorite organizations through this event, but you're not really accomplishing much. And I said to them, if that's what happens, then we'll stop doing the events, because that's not the goal. The goal is to raise more money and grow philanthropy. And that's why we do a survey at the end of the event last year. And that survey told us some interesting things. 64% of the donors said that they gave through this event more money than they would normally give to the nonprofits they were supporting. That is the most important number to me. That is saying we actually grew philanthropy through this event. We inspired donors to give more than they would have normally given. And 90% of the nonprofits that took part last year said they received gifts from new donors, people who had not given to them before. In my mind, that is also growing philanthropy. So those are the numbers that are most important to me. And I hope we can get those numbers even bigger this year. What are we going to do to help the tool be successful? We internally call it umbrella marketing, meaning we're going to do some kind of high-level marketing around the event. So we have partnerships with the Union Bulletin and the other local newspapers in East Oregonian, and they will be running ads for the events, and they will be including in one of the editions of their newspapers that tabloid, that insert that lists all the nonprofits taking part of the event, explains the event, and goes out in all those papers right before or as the event's starting. So we'll take care of that. We will send a mailer to every residential address in the 4 counties that we work in that lists all the nonprofits taking part in this event. All 160 nonprofits will be listed on that mailer. and it'll explain to people how to take part in the event and encourage them to donate and take part. That for us is, it's just a great excuse. This event is a great excuse to just send a mailer out to every person in the 4 counties saying, hey, look, there are 160 local nonprofits doing great work in our community. Here's a list for you. I hope you'll take this opportunity to learn some more about them. And that's where a lot of the new donations come from. So we'll take care of that. And then of course, there's the website. The valleygivingguide.org website. That website has this leaderboard on it, right? You all have your own page on there that you control and you put whatever you want on there. But then there's also this leaderboard. And I've done events like this for getting close to 10 years now. And I've heard mixed feedback on the leaderboard. Some people don't like it because it kind of creates a feeling of competition that doesn't feel good to everybody. And I get that. Because I don't believe in competition amongst nonprofits. I don't think we're competing for donors. I think the more we all put a great message out there and explain our need to the community, the more people will donate. I don't think it's a competition, but I understand how the leaderboard might feel that way to people. But on the other hand, I know the leaderboard inspires people to give. It inspires people to give more to nonprofits on the leaderboard because donors do get competitive, and they're looking at the nonprofits they love the most, and they want them to be successful. And so it does inspire people to give more on that end, kind of on the high end, but it also inspires people to give more on the low end. Last year at the end of the event, there was a generous donor who came along and said, look, there are a few organizations that haven't received any donations. I'm going to donate to all of them. I don't know them at all. I have no relationship to them, but everyone should get something. And so they made a donation to every nonprofit that had received. And so use that tool called the leaderboard to help you be successful in the event. And then we offer all these prizes. And again, the prizes to some people come across as a competitive thing. Like, it doesn't feel very good. I'm competing with other nonprofits to win these prizes. But that's not it. That's not why we offer the prizes. We offer the prizes to give you tools to use to motivate donors and people who might not be your donors yet to go to the event and donate to you. And I've seen this work. So the prizes are most donations in a week. I'm probably not going to get these all right. Most donors on Giving Tuesday. There's a golden ticket prize every Monday from certain hours of the day. So like on December 6th, from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m., we'll pick one donation made in that time period, and we'll add extra money to it. I think it's $250. Weekly, most donors. So every week, the nonprofit that has the most individual donors will receive a prize. Every week, most raised. Every nonprofit that raises the most money that week will receive a prize. And then at the end, it's by category. So each nonprofit, the nonprofit in each category that has raised the most will get a prize. Again, the point though is for you to have tools to think strategically about this. To say, if you want to say to all of your donors and supporters, hey, we're trying to get the golden ticket prize on December 6th. So if you're going to support us during this event, support us between 6 a.m. and 10 a.m. on December 6th. And build yourself a campaign around that. Or pick a week that you want to try to win the most donations prize. The point isn't to win the prize. I mean, sure, the $250 or whatever it is, that's great. It's just extra money. But that's not really the point. The point is, it's something you can talk to your donors about. It's an excuse to contact your donors again and say, hey, we're going for this prize this week. Try to help us win this prize. So use that to help this tool be more successful for you. And I think I'll stop there, or I'll start getting more into the weeds. And I think Greer wants to go more into the weeds. So I see some stuff in chat. I don't see any questions. So I think I'll stop talking and turn it back over to Greer. Thanks.
Thanks, Cole. I did drop a link to the prize page on the website. There's also a prize list in the Dropbox files that you all have access to, so you can actually print those if that is how you prefer to operate. Are there any questions, comments, thoughts about what Cole shared? I'm not seeing anybody waving at me. Okay. Oh, yes, Elizabeth, I'll put the Dropbox link in just a second. I've realized I can't click and talk. So I'll hand it off to Sarah, and then I will share that resource in chat. So Sarah is gonna, hi Sarah, birthday girl Sarah is going to give us her insider's perspective. Take it away.
It was great to see so many familiar faces and names, because sometimes some of you I can just see your names representing so many extraordinary mission-driven nonprofits in the Blue Mountain region. Thanks for being here today and for taking the risk of engaging in this opportunity, because that's what it is. It's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to support you in raising more money for your mission. And because you've opted in, you've already at some level recognized that that this is an opportunity and that there's some value. This is not, the Value Giving Guide is not intended to replace every piece of fundraising you're doing or the storytelling you're doing with your donors. It is an opportunity to do more. From my perspective, having been where many of you sit, trying to make decisions about how to spend the valuable time between now and the end of the year, which I'm just going to call fundraising season, from the last quarter of the year, calendar year, when so many organizations are really pushing to reach their fundraising goals for the year. You have options on how you're going to spend that time and what efforts you're going to engage in. This is one opportunity. Some of you, some of the Valley nonprofits last year, I'm going to call out by name. I'm going to call out Helpline because Liz McDevitt with Helpline went all in, and the Helpline used their year-end appeal, which many of you do. Many of you create something written and electronic that you send to your donors, inviting them to support you at the end of the year. And Helpline went all in and presented the Value Giving Guide portal and giving through the Value Giving Guide as the option, their preferred option for all of their donors to give. And as such, eliminated all of the credit card expenses that so many of you budget for, because it's a real expense. And also was able to, I think Helpline was one of the prize winners. So there's so many ways I think that each one of you may consider it, using the Value Giving Guide as a tool to help raise more. There's the fact that there's the bonus available, which we sincerely last year was about 10% for gifts online and in the 7% range for checks that came through. It's donors love a match. People love more. They love to know that their gift is being in some way augmented. It's compelling to folks when there's a challenge and there's an opportunity to get more for something that they care about. And they care about you, and they care about your mission and your storytelling. I think one of the things that I really hope I can make clear to you, having for those of you who know me, know that I spent a lot of years on the other side and fundraising. And here's what I want you to get from my heart to yours. we do not want your donors. We are not going to steal your donors. We are not even literally keeping track of your donors. We don't enter your donor names or data into our database. The only names we enter are the people who give to the mission of Blue Mountain Community Foundation. There is I know that there can be this scarcity mentality that can be really discouraging. But as Cole said, this is not, are we in competition for dollars, or are we in a competition to tell our story and share our mission in such a compelling way that people choose to invest in what we're doing? And I would present to you that there is abundance in this community, and this community is leaning in to invest in and to support the work you're doing. Your opportunities to tell that story, and to not take it personally when donors may choose to support something else. That's just they're people, right? We're people. I'm sure every one of you gives generously to things that you care about in this community. You get to choose. And if there is competition, it's in the storytelling. It's in the how are we sharing with donors what it is we're committed to and passionate about. And that's what I have to share. I am here. I am for you. I am so proud of all of you and the work that you continue to do, and have such admiration and respect and grace for what you're carrying every day on behalf of and for your missions. And just want to reassure you that this effort and every effort of Blue Mountain Community Foundation is focused on more for you and your missions.
Thanks, Sarah.
Yep. Shame on you for telling everybody that I was born.
I'm so grateful.
I know it's shocking, and none of you were born. It was just me.
I'm very grateful that you were born. So thanks for being born, and thanks for sharing your birthday with us.
If anybody has questions for me, put them in the chat or email me directly at sarah@bluemountainfoundation.org. For those of you who I've known for many years, I am counting on the fact that I have earned your trust, and will happily take your questions, comments, concerns, feedback. But this effort, the Valley Giving Guide effort, is focused on more for every nonprofit in the region. And it's not a one size fits all. And again, it's not intended to replace every fundraising effort that you're doing at your end. Use it or don't.
So this event really, and Sarah has touched on it now, and Cole touched on it too. It really is what is also kind of my life model, which is more is more. We get to do more, be more, and share more with all of our people. So more is more. That can be our unofficial motto for Valley Giving Guide. Are there any questions, comments, thoughts, insights for anything that Sarah said, or anything so far in our training?
I have a question. Sorry.
Okay. Hi, Darlene. Oh, now you're muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. I'm actually on here twice because I'm a treasurer for 2 organizations. So that's joining. I can see that I have a link now. This is the first time of me doing this. So I have a link, and I'm going to be drafting up the donation letters to all our donors. And I want to direct them to this page to do their donations like Sarah was talking about. We really want to have all of our donations this year go through our Valley Giving Guide. So on my donation letter, if I just put the link to our page in that, there'll be a place for them to donate, I'm guessing then on our link on our page. I'm looking at our page right now and I don't see anywhere to donate, but I'm guessing that's not updated yet. Am I correct?
You are correct. And that is a great question and a great segue into my section, which is about like actual nuts and bolts. So
Okay.
thank you. That's perfect. Okay, let me find my section on my agenda because, you know, I have to follow my agenda or else I just start rambling. Okay, so I'm going to kind of start a little bit above your question, Darlene, but I will get to that answer because there were a lot of kind of details in there that I want to touch on. So first of all, the event starts November 29th. It's Giving Tuesday. It's right after Thanksgiving, Black Friday. That is the date when the leaderboard will be active and you'll start we'll start doing all the prizes and all of the donations that come in November 29th and forward will count towards prizes and all the matching. The website will actually soft launch on November 17th. That is when we will start doing some test donations, make sure, you know, that our side of the equation, so the website is talking to the credit card processing company, is talking to our bank, so that it all flows smoothly. That's a good time, that window between November 17th and November 29th is a good time for you to test your donate button. Once we open the site on the soft launch date, that donate button will appear on your page. And so please test that. I'll send that in one of my emails as well. But that's a time to really make sure that everything on your end is working. The early donations, so that time frame between November 17th and 29th, anything that comes in early will be processed and added to your total. But those early donations don't count towards prize counts. So when you're strategically thinking about how to use this tool, keep that in mind. You don't want to jump the gun, because as soon as you tell your donors, hey, we've got this thing, go check it out, they're going to go because they're eager to support you. So be sure that your messaging is the November 29th date or November 29th through December 31st. You know, we have a month, so let's keep it inside that month and try to rein it in. I know it's tempting to just start shouting from the rooftops, but yeah, early giving is totally acceptable, but it doesn't always do all the things that it could do. So another thing that we kind of touched on inside there is using those prizes strategically. So unfortunately, Thon, who has he runs the company that built our website, and he is a fundraising mastermind, and he has hired a lot of tech masterminds to build our website, which is why it's so wonderful. But they couldn't join us this morning. But Thon has told me, I mean, every time we speak to each other, which is weekly, that donors will give more than once, especially when it's a month-long event. So use that to your advantage. That's the prize calendar, the leaderboard, You know, set it up now. Think about how your donors, how they're motivated, and like write that into your plan. If you are going for a golden ticket on the third Monday, that doesn't mean you can't talk to them in advance of that. You should be getting them excited for the November 29th kickoff. And then remind them, or, you know, surprise them that you're gonna go for this golden ticket, even though you've known that you're gonna go for it the whole time. But, you know, like make a call to action for them. And many of them will donate again. You can use the same approach to if you secure an outside match. So there's that little match feature inside your profile. So that is for if you have a generous donor who really wants to see you raise $20,000, and if you hit 20,000, they'll match it with 20,000. So you can plug that number in, and it will do a reverse countdown as donors go to your page and donate. It will reverse count and show the progress towards that outside match. That's another tool to get donors to perhaps give more than they normally would, and perhaps give more than once. Because if you set those up in a way throughout the month, you can usually compel them to give again. Yes, Sarah.
Can I just ask a quick clarifying question? So with that, I think I already know the answer, but I'm not sure everybody else does. When I put that match, if I put those matching dollars in, do those dollars have to run through the Valley Giving Guide?
They don't run through the Valley Giving Guide normally. They are outside match. So if you have a donor who's promising 20,000, that's outside of the Giving Guide. But the 20,000 that they inspire through the Giving Guide will be eligible for prizes and will receive the matching dollars at the end from us, from our sponsor pool and all those.
Bonus pool.
The bonus pool. Thank you.
Bonus pool. We keep paddling around that name.
I know I struggle with that name, but that's what it is. It's the bonus pool. Okay, now I got turned around. Donors, we talked about donors, we talked about dates. So now I want to talk a bit about your profile content. First of all, you can edit all of it throughout the event, all of the online profile content. You can change pictures, you can add a video, you can switch between pictures and videos. You can change your hero image. You can change the words. Do that. The people who are coming to your page generally already know who you are. So you don't need to say our mission is to blah, blah, blah. Like you can make it like special custom content for your insider people who would be excited to see like a brand new picture or a brand new recording of a performance that nobody's seen before, or a special announcement of something. Like just make your content compelling and exciting. And again, I'm going to quote Thon, who he really wants to develop like an internal thermometer gauge. The more words you put on your profile, the less likely it is your donors are going to donate. Because if they're reading 3 or 4 paragraphs of dense words, they're going to get distracted and they're going to navigate away. Keep it short, keep it compelling, fresh, exciting, and then let them do what they're there to do, which is to support your mission. Again, I will, I will harp on that for the whole event. Sorry, guys. But if you need help with that, if you want us to personally help you, I will plan on having office hours throughout the event. Tuesdays, 11 to 1. Book a time. It doesn't take that long to really dig in, and I can help upload photos. I can help you craft some words. I'm here to help. So use that tool too. And I bet you if you ask Sarah, she would probably help as well.
I
That
will
looks
do my
like-
best.
Okay. Yes, we're all just doing our best.
There's a question in the chat, Brewer, that I
Okay.
think I answered about 3 images on the carousel, on the image carousel. But I just want to point out, you can change those as often as you want. You have control of that. So if you get, a great new shot or hero image, or you want to update your carousel, you can. I don't know that there's any science or study around that being compelling or not. People might be confused if they are coming back to your page for a second time. But choose that hero image wisely and tell the best story you can about the most compelling story about your mission. And then you use that image carousel to feature 3 images that will move and inspire.
Yes. And the hero image is kind of tricky. Remember that your organization name is superimposed on top of it. So a lot of organizations are compelled to put their logo on that hero image, or to type words in their hero image, kind of like a Facebook banner. That gets really messy really fast. I've seen it happen successfully, but I mostly have seen that be unsuccessful. So try to preserve that hero image as just images. You can do like 3, you can do a collage, but let's keep the words off of it. Your logo is featured on your profile right below the hero image, so that will be there. And your organizational name, like I said, is superimposed, so you don't need to add that. And then of course, a lot of you work with kids, animals. Those are the best. Those are the best photos. I think it was Walla Walla Valley Bands. You have a photo with a grandma and a grandson who both like play in the band, and I mean, it's like, tell those stories. Those are the stories that really just inspire people to support you. Like, they know they like you, but like, remind them why. Okay. Yes, sorry, I see. I'm not good at monitoring chat and talking, sort of like talking and clicking. So thank you, Sarah. If there are any questions in there that need to be called out, please feel free. Okay, I'm going to pause for a moment. Any questions, comments, Darlene? I have not forgotten your second question and inside your big question. I'm getting there. Any other comments so far? Questions, concerns, confusion? Anything? Okay, I'm not seeing any people waving at me. Okay, so let's talk about the external things that we do to fundraise and how we use the giving guide to supplement. As Darlene pointed out, we each have a unique URL directing donors straight to your page. Please use that. You can adjust the end. It's called the slug. I did not name it. I don't know who named that, but that's what it's called. It's your slug. So that's the custom piece after valleyGivingGuide.org. If you want it to, it can get kind of long. If you want to adjust it, you can, or I can. I'm happy to help. But that is your primary tool. You do not want to send your donors to valleyGivingGuide.org. If they're not landing on your page with one click or one scan, we're doing it wrong. Get them to your page. Period. Donors are not going to valleygivingguide.org and searching through counties or categories. You just want your people to get to your page, let them see a really cool photo, and then click donate. So ways to use that URL. You grab it outside of your profile or go to your page and copy it out of the browser dealie. You can tell I'm not the techie one. This is where Liz knows all the words, but she's not here. So grab it out of the dealie, and then you can either use that as is. You can create a short URL, like you can use the bit.ly, it's bit.ly, and you paste your URL in there, and you can create a little tiny short one so it's easier for people to type. But we really shouldn't have people typing the URL anyway. So if you're doing emails, create a hyperlink, have text that's hyperlinked, or photos that are hyperlinked. If you're doing a direct mail piece, let's use a QR code. I used to hate those things, and now I find them actually useful. If you don't know how to generate a QR code, book office hours with Greer and we'll do it together. It's very easy, and then you get like a little, it's like a little JPEG. It's just a little image, and you can actually insert it into your letter, print it, and then people are reading their mail. They have their phone, they're right there. All they have to do is point their phone at the QR code. It takes them straight to the website. Done. Then they'll donate. So if you're doing social media, you just, again, capture that link, paste it into your social media, builder. Again, I don't know all the words, but you copy it and paste it, and then it turns into something pretty, and then you post it so that people can click that button and easily get directly to your page.
Greer, there's a couple questions. Is now an okay time?
Yes.
Okay. With the soft launch on the 17th, will we be able to generate a QR code that goes directly to the page, or will it change with the formal launch?
Your URL will not change
Between now and it's set.
unless we actively change it, as in like you and I change it. It won't change.
Great. It can the slug on the page URL be edited?
Yeah, well, I saw that question, and now I'm wondering if we're the only ones who have that power.
I think we are.
It would make sense that we would probably be that. Yeah, well, hold on. No, you can't do that. So if you want to change it, let me know. We can either take a meeting during office hours, or just send me what you want to change, what you want to change it to. So the only piece, I'm going to share my screen and I'll just show you really quickly.
Okay. I'm going to answer another question while you do that real quickly. Darlene Wilson asked, where is the QR code at? You have to create it, Darlene. So you create a QR code. There's a number of free options online to create a QR code. And you can create a QR code using your unique web link or your unique address to your giving page. If you want help with that, Darlene, please let us know and we can touch base on that.
So can we all see, can you see the Valley Giving Guide, Giving Event Profile? Art Walla?
Mhm.
Okay. Elizabeth, I'm showing your profile. So this is, oh, they did change the word slug. Oh, how nice. So this is your unique URL. So once you're inside your organizational profile, this is the full address that you want to capture. And if you click on it, it will jump you to your actual public profile. That looks nice, Elizabeth, good job. The piece that is editable by us, so now I'm gonna jump out of here and I'm gonna go in as me instead of as Art Walla. Maybe. Nope, nope. Oh, that's a lot of clicking. Sorry, you guys. I wonder if, oh, here it is. Oh my goodness. This is where we can change it. So Art Walla's is pretty simple since Art Walla is one word and a fairly short word. If we change that to, I'm not going to change that one actually, because they probably are already using it. Let's look at someone who has a big name. There we go. So Big Blue Boosters of Walla Walla. That's a lot. And you see how it shows up, it's big dash blue dash boosters. So we could change this to Big Blue. And it yells at me about it. And then it will change. And see how it's shortened at the very end. So that's the piece that we can really make custom if you want to. Does that make sense? Okay. I will now stop sharing.
Now is the time to review that and take a look at that and make that request. If you want that to change, we'd really like to get on that as soon as possible. And know that, yeah, so. There's another question here, Greer, that I'm just going to share with the group. Last year, we talked about collecting different data during the recap session. Kaylin is wondering if we're able to access how many views the page has gotten. And if not, is there other data that we can see in real time during the event?
That is a really good question.
It is. I think.
I don't think that we have those analytics visible. What I can see during the event is the number of donors. What you can see is the number of donors. So I see big, global number of donors and amounts. On your dashboard, you'll see your specific donors and amounts. We can get analytics on that level from Fawn at the end of the event. What remind me what we're what would we be using those analytics for, Kaylin? Like, what do you want to do?
Yeah, so can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm with the program Walla Walla Child Advocates. And so we were new to the Valley Giving Guide last year. And so we were just wanting to kind of see what our impact was from the event. So not only did we receive quite a bit more than we thought we would through donations, but we also received quite a few interested volunteers as a result of the event, just because of the just the visibility of our page during the event. And so just being able to have some more data regarding how many people have accessed our page, or at least have seen it or watched a video or whatever, helps us better understand our impact and kind of the visibility that we're getting from the event, in addition to the donations.
Okay, let me ask Thon. Thank you for that. I'll ask. I've made a note.
Thank you.
Okay, Jan, I see your question in there, and no, it cannot be. Sorry. We have to have the /profile/s/org name. Okay, sorry. I hate, that's like the shortest answer I've ever given to a question. And it's a no, and you know I don't like saying no, but there you go. All right, a couple more ideas from the profile side. So there is the option to host a party. You can use this page to schedule an in-person party. We're back to kind of being able to do that now. So if that's something that you feel like doing, use this tool because you can still drive people to your page, and then at your party, have stations, iPads, QR codes printed and on tables. Make it about donating. Like, make it fun. Do it in conjunction with a prize. Do it, have a New Year's Eve party and see how many people you can get to show up and boost your numbers at 11:30 on December 31st. Like, why not? What else are we going to be doing? Last year, that's what I was just watching the leaderboard, hitting refresh. So that's another fun tool. And if you need help walking through that, again, office hours with Greer, I'm happy to help. So those are kind of the built-in tools. And now I want to talk about scheduling. So you should be, I'm sure you all are, thinking now about your fundraising season and how you're talking to your people. So we have scheduling tools inside that Dropbox link that I shared in the chat. Start planning now. Don't wait until you are in the week where there's a prize that you think you might be able to get. Look at the calendar, pick one, and then back out the dates. You know, direct mail, if you're sending out mailers, that takes a little while. So start thinking about it now. If you want someone to proofread, I love proofreading. I'm happy to help with that. If you need help creating that QR code to go on your direct mail piece, let me know. We should be working on that now. You can build social media campaigns and schedule them. So that's another thing that should be happening now. If you are sending a direct mail piece, you can schedule your direct mail piece, remind yourself to update your Valley Giving Guide profile with a video that talks about a story that you told in your direct mail piece. Make the two work together. And then promote that on social media. Okay? Use all of these things together to really saturate your message to your people. You can schedule posts on social media. You can build this entire campaign in Canva and schedule your social media posts. And then you don't have to worry about it in the middle. Then you have time to do sort of spontaneous, fun excitement posts during the event. Like if you win a prize, or if you're really, really close and you think you just need a little more help, you can do those spontaneous posts, but you know that you have the basics built already. And again, that's something that we can look at. I'm happy to look at your schedule and think through dates. The plan, so the guide, the physical print guide will drop in all of our regional newspapers around Thanksgiving. So each newspaper has a different, circulation cycle, but it'll all be around in there. So the Union Bulletin one is coming out the Sunday after Thanksgiving. So I think that's the 27th. So schedule some exciting posts around then. Like, hey, did you see our listing in the guide? Hey, check this out. Hey, have you looked at this? Use those dates. The residential saturation mailer, we don't have an actual drop date yet, but I will let you know when we do. But we are hoping that it'll come out around the 3rd week of the event. So kind of when everyone's tired of hearing about everything and we're super overwhelmed with holiday stuff. We found last year that gave a little boost at the end. So use that date. You can even start targeting. So if you're really interested in growing your donor base in Milton Free Water, use your social media campaign to talk about that saturation mailer, and then target, like sponsor the Facebook posts and target Milton Free Water. These are all things that I'm happy to help with. And really, I mean, they're really great tools when you use them all together to just grow your supporters. That's kind of the end of where that's where my agenda stops for this topic. So I'm happy to answer questions. This is a great time also, if anybody wants to share what worked for you last year, or some thoughts about what you want to do this year, this is a great time. I know I saw Karen Carmen on here. She was kind of there she is. She was a wizard last year. She just knocked it out. She won a prize. I don't remember which one, but I do remember making Cole wear a really funny hat to go deliver the prize. So Karen, if you want to share anything, we would welcome your insight.
The only thing I'll say is that I had scheduled like really clever ideas for certain donation days, and my donors didn't follow that at all. So I'm doing it differently this year. They like to hear from us. They'd like to hear about what was going on, but I had created like, hey, if you're today Women Supporting Women Day, women donate, or something like that. And those kind of ideas actually didn't work. But when I was surprised, because I thought they would. So I'll just do like Greer's talking about, just really scheduled out, make sure that I contact my donors, that they see from me, hear from me on social media, that they know what's going on, and really just connecting with them. I think that's the biggest thing. People liked hearing stories or hearing what maybe had happened with, when I said I shared something about something happening with a resident in a certain way, then that day I got more donations. So I'll kind of do that. Like Sarah talked about, really sharing that story of what you do.
Yeah. Thank you. That's interesting to hear that those weren't as successful as we thought.
No, I thought they were really, I had fun coming up with them.
Well, that's good. That's a good insight. So
Yeah.
simpler than it, keep it simple, but just tell the stories.
Yes. Yeah.
That's great. Thank you for sharing, Karen.
Greer, can I jump in for a second and say something about anonymous donors? I am guessing that each one of you have received a check from, I don't know, Fidelity Charitable, and you just desperately want to know who that's from, and they are not going to tell you. That is a donor's choice. Donors can choose to be anonymous. You as a donor can choose to be anonymous. And it is, as someone who gave anonymously once upon a time to a thing, and then it wasn't honored, I can tell you how really, this was years ago, how really upsetting that was, because it was intended to be a surprise for my mom. And the intention was not that it was from us, but that it was just to acknowledge her. And donors get to choose to be anonymous. And when they do that, I know how hard it is to not be able to say thank you. But you can just put it out into the universe that you received an anonymous gift and you're so grateful. That is one way to handle that. But donors who give through the Valley Giving Guide who request anonymity, we, just like you, are committed to best practices in fundraising. And there's no way around that. Anonymous means anonymous, and donors get to choose. Some donors give through a required minimum distributions from their IRAs or from other maybe family foundations or other ways that people give charitably. They can choose for those to be anonymous, or they can choose to share with you who they are. And that is the blessing and the curse of the freedom of choice.
Thanks, Sarah. Yes. That is true. So if you're a new organization with us this year, donor anonymity is a big deal to us, and we will honor it, period.
There's a question in the chat. What happens on January 1? What if
I
someone
saw
uses the
that.
QR? Yeah, that's a great question. What
Yeah.
happens? Are they just told, no, you can't give?
So yes, kind of. On January 1st at midnight, the website is programmed to automatically shut off the donate buttons. So kind of how your profile looks right now without the option for people to donate, it'll kind of flip back onto that setting. So donations online are turned off as of midnight, January 1st. We do still, honor checks that are mailed, as long
We
as
still
the
get the
post-
mail.
Hmm?
We still get the mail.
We still get the mail. Now, you know how we feel about checks, but we will still process them as long as they're, postmarked prior to January 1st. We usually honor we'll honor any of them. But I think last year we were still processing mail for Giving Guide for about 7 to 10 days. I realized I have an oversight. So this year, you've all seen in our emails, United Way is hosting the event with us and partnering with us, particularly in the realm of nonprofit support. So I think Sarah, I saw your face at the beginning, Sarah Zessin. So our Sarah Archer, and then Sarah Zessin works for United Way of the Blue Mountains. Some of you may have gotten some emails from her. She's lovely, and she is also available to help with profile content, editing, uploading photos, stuff like that. Elizabeth, I'm totally gonna call you out right now. Do you have any fun, exciting plans for our Walla? / would you like to share your thoughts about Insta?
Oh, I can do that. This was something that I learned in the last year working for Walla, but Instagram, if you make a post and put your link in the post, it does not become a hyperlink. So it's best to put the hyperlink for this in your bio instead of your website. Put your website kind of down below where people can still find that address. But last year I put the link specifically for this as our hyperlink in our bio. And then you change the wording for your Instagram post and just say, Valley Giving Guide, whatever you're going to say, link in bio. So then it drives people to your bio and to that link.
We hashtag. I believe that all of those instructions are in the Dropbox.
That direct link, Greer, but you can access the Dropbox through the valleyGivingGuide.org website and click on resources. And there are links under the resources, it says if you're looking for logo and planning materials, there's a link to the Dropbox. Then there's a link to the previous trainings on the YouTube playlist, and you can register for the mailing list as well. I just want to point out that access to the Dropbox is on the website if you know where to look.
Yes, thank you. That is a good point. Okay, with that, and with no more questions or comments for the good of the group, I call us dismissed.